Hi, everybody. This is Alan Fine, and I'm here with Richard Ross, the Director of Sales and Marketing for the Grand Hyatt Nashville. Now, Nashville is known for history, food, and fun, and this hotel has all three. We're going to learn about that and more on Insider Travel Report. Richard, thanks for talking to us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, when we talk to people, we usually say, how are you and where are you? So first, how are you?
I'm doing very well. I appreciate you asking. And it's been exciting, thrilling, and right now we're just reveling into our day-to-day operational normalcy and just loving every minute of it. But we're doing great. I appreciate you asking. I hope the same thing.
And then where are you, which is significant for this interview?
Yeah, I decided to take a liberty. I'm sitting on the 24th floor of the Grand Hyatt Nashville in our June presidential suite. And you can see some of the suite behind me. I think we'll do a little bit more of a guided tour a little bit later. But
yes.
Yeah, I'm sitting in one of our three luxury suites, all of which are located on the 24th floor.
So let's back up and talk about the history of the plot of land, the history of the hotel, and then all about it.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to share that story because it really is the source point and the original roots of our story. For over a century, the site on which we sit, and I do have to offer that we're part of an 18-acre campus known as Nashville Yards. We're the first new pillar of Nashville Yards to come online. However, since, and very close to our opening, we actually also added the Union Station Hotel to the Nashville Yards portfolio. That's located just across the street on Broadway. We can talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But Nashville Yards is, again, an 18-acre urban oasis that is redefining downtown materially, interactively, and experientially. And we're part of that campus. So that is the site that we're describing. And for over a century, as I mentioned, this site was a vibrant rail yard and the epicenter of everything that had to do with trade, commerce, growth and activity, and quite frankly, once it became commercially viable, tourism. So the original roots of tourism lay right beneath our feet. And I think when you talk about what makes the hotel special from an architectural, a design, service, and culture perspective, we've been very, very careful to bring forward that history. As you described at the very top, Nashville's a place that, everybody loves. It's a feel-good city. It's a place people love to come repeatedly. And we're really excited to be able to bring forward a part of Nashville's history that, isn't part of the current discussion. We're turning some pages back in the history book and are privileged and very proud to do so.
That sounds great. I mean, I'm assuming the yard then influenced the hotel.
Without a doubt. And as you'll see when we get to some images, every part of the building was inspired by those original roots. So when you talk about architecture and design, both as an aesthetic as well as a functional component of how these inspirations came forward, you can very clearly see the inspiration of rail, and then the textiles, whether it's lumber or brick or metals that were part of the yard experience over the decades and centuries. You see all those elements come through in a very thoughtful and compelling way. So
let's talk about the size. How many rooms? How many suites?
Yeah, thank you. We have 591 rooms and suites. Of those 591, 53 are suites. 3 of those 53 are luxury suites. All the rest are one bedrooms. And all of our suites have a connecting option to create a 2-bedroom suite environment.
We're going to show pictures of if you want to describe a couple suites.
Yeah, absolutely. As I mentioned, I'm sitting in our June presidential suite. This is over 1,500 square feet of luxury space. One thing that's really compelling about the hotel is that every room has floor-to-ceiling windows, which gives you an incredible vantage point of the city that surrounds us. The energy, the vibrancy, the beauty of the city comes through in every guest room. In addition to the 3 luxury suites that are all located on level 24, we have 3 additional suites on every floor. So folks who have preference for a low floor option or request, we can accommodate that in a suite as well. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's important just because there's a lot of diverse requests and interests and, customer requests. And I think the building was built with thoughtfulness and purpose to accommodate that wide variety of customer interests and needs. But the suites, all of our rooms have refrigerators. They have safes. Our suites take it up a notch. They have a living area, a dining area, in addition to the refrigerating and safety protocols, and then an adjoining bedroom. So they all have kind of an apartment vibe, studio vibe, and there's three distinct floor plans within each of those one-bedroom options, which give you a great variety. Not all the suites are the same. You have three different options, and then the three luxury suites on top of that. So we're standing here in the living room of the June Presidential Suite. This is located on the 24th floor of Grand Hyatt Nashville. And as you can see as I pan the room, first thing that stands out is the floor-to-ceiling windows that adorn two of the four walls. We have a full bar setup over in the distance there, where we've got a refrigerator, an espresso coffee service, and the ability to provide a food and beverage experience if you'd like to theme or host a small gathering.
You had a good-sized television, I saw.
Yeah, we sure do. Coming around, we've got a library area with books and all kinds of interesting reading materials that, again, pay history and homage to the history of the site. Right. As we move around here, I'm sitting at a dining area, so you have seating for multiple folks. Mm-hmm. And then we come right back around, and here's a little bit more of a look at the living room with the television and the seating. This is part of the Nashville Yards development that we were talking about just a few moments ago, under construction.
What's going to go in those two big open lots? Do you know?
That is part of the AEG entertainment experience, and that will have, when it's completed, it'll have a 4,000-person performance arena, luxury bowling, luxury cinema, additional food and beverage offerings, and residential.
Yeah. That's great.
And then I moved over to the other window, and you can see here all of downtown literally at our doorstep. And I think this is really compelling too for the traveler, because Grand Hyatt Nashville sits literally on Broadway, which is the beloved main artery that moves through downtown. And that's right below us in the camera's eye right here. You can see Bridgestone Arena. Right. You can see the downtown landscape. And it gives you a great sense of place and location as to where Grand Hyatt is relative to downtown and all the beloved attractions that are located in downtown. And what we're seeing here is some seating over here in the corner. There's a really great console table, very large floor-to-ceiling window. The television's hidden in there, so all you have to do is hit a remote control, and the television pops out. Yeah, sure does.
This allows you to have a view or not?
This does allow you to have a view, and you can tuck the television back away and have that view unobstructed.
I like that.
And then windows continue. This is the same view that we were looking at just a moments ago. And I'm going to move into the room so you can get a sense of the bedscape and some of the really pretty pendant lighting, leather headboard, and it's just a lovely and tranquil space.
Love it. What's the amenities like in the back? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, this is the dressing area. So we've got some closet space, a really beautiful floor-to-ceiling mirror area to dress and get ready for your big night, either at the Continental or at the Nashville Grange, or out in the town, or combinations.
Or if you're performing at the Opry.
Or if you're performing at the Opry, absolutely. And then a quick sneak peek in the bathroom right here, kind of getting a sense of how beautiful that is. Mm-hmm. So this is all available to you here at the June Presidential.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the tour. The suites are terrific. Tell us about the food and beverage.
So anyone who comes to Nashville knows that the culinary scene here is incredibly vibrant, and we're delighted to offer 7 different food and beverage experiences here at the Grand Hyatt Nashville. We actually liken ourselves to somewhat of an urban resort because you can get so many things under one roof, and those experiences range from food and beverage experiences, rooftop experiences. We have an incredible spa, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a moment as well, but we'll start at the lobby level, and we have a lobby level lounge, which is called Aurum. That's Latin for gold. And when you see the space, it is just beautiful. There's lots of gold metal tones, and it's gilded. It's beautiful. We have a local partnership with Stay Golden Coffee, and they're our official roaster for our coffee market, which is called Hummingbird. Hummingbird is another homage to the history of rail here at our site. That was actually one of the luxury passenger trains that traveled right through the site where we're located. We also have the Nashville Grange, and the Nashville Grange is really the soul of our culinary experiences. here at the Grand Hyatt Nashville. And I say that because it pays a high level of respect to the idea of farmsteading and the generations of history that support agriculture and how that allowed Nashville to grow both in size and relevance, but also in commercial and trading importance to the country. And so the Nashville Grange pays that forward through history and a Tennessee to table type of experience. And we serve a breakfast, lunch, and dinner there every day. We also have a really great bar at the Nashville Grange, which is yet another stop on your culinary journey. Of course, at the cornerstone of the lobby level is the Continental. That's Sean Brock's restaurant. Really delighted and thrilled to have him as a partner here at the Grand Hyatt for culinarians. So if we were to take the elevator up to level 5, we have a lifestyle level on level 5, and that brings together our rooftop pool deck and pool itself, along with Solstice, which is a health-forward bar and lounge, but with both indoor and outdoor seating. As you would expect in a pool experience, you can have a quiet corner of the indoor experience. You can have your meal served to you out on the pool deck. And Solstice, of course, paying reference to the sun. And it's just a brilliant space, a beautiful space, but also located on level 5 is R&R Wellness, which is our spa. And it is a brilliant space with 10 treatment rooms, including couples therapy sessions and therapy offerings, a blending bar that really kind of kicks off that whole experience so that your treatment, your journey is yours. It's personalized from the very beginning that you step foot into the spa itself. And again, I can't tell you how excited we are to have R&R, which, as you might guess, R&R is a playful take, of course, visually at least, on the idea of a railroad. And again, one more theming element.
And rest and relaxation. And
exactly.
And how large, for comparison's sake? How many square feet?
Just over 6,000 square feet, 10 treatment rooms. And that includes a really great cutting-edge treatments like hydrofacials, traditional stone therapies, and so much more. And it's actually just a beautiful, beautiful space. And then lastly, as we kind of wrap up the culinary piece, if you were to go to level 25, the 25th floor, the crown jewel of both the hotel as well as the rooftop experiences here in Nashville is Luna. And Luna looks like LOU/NA. And that is the marriage of Louisville-Nashville Railroad, which also traveled through the site. And again, a reference to the history that we share with rail, but also Luna, just spoken, sounds like moon. And what better place to have a grasp at touching the moon than a rooftop bar and lounge here at Grand Hyatt on level 25.
But other public spaces and meeting rooms also?
Yeah, we're very blessed and fortunate to have 77,000 square feet of indoor meeting and event space. It's one of the largest footprints of any hotel in downtown. We actually have the second largest hotel ballroom in downtown Nashville. So very excited to fulfill that need in meeting planning. But, just like the rest of our spaces, all of our meeting rooms are very thoughtfully designed. There's tremendous flexibility built into both how the rooms are planned and realized in the way of relationship to one another, but size and scale is also very thoughtful. And what I mean by that is, for example, on level 2, where the Grand Hall is located, that's the 20,000 square foot ballroom. We also have over a dozen additional spaces that vary in size and location and proximity to have smaller breakouts, planning meetings, board meetings, things of that nature. And there's 3 different floors that combine to create the overall footprint of our meeting space offerings. Those are on level 2, 3, and 4. All connected by escalator as well as elevator, so very efficient to move around the building. And those all connect down to the lobby level as well.
So what about, do you have amenities that you want to brag about?
I think location is one of the greatest amenities that the hotel offers. And what I mean by that is...
Talk about the neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. So we're located at 1000 Broadway. And if you've ever been to Nashville before, you certainly know that address, that street. It's renowned, beloved, as the main artery takes you into the lower Broadway experience where all of our musical destinations are located, Country Music Hall of Fame, the Ryman Auditorium, all located literally footsteps from our front door. And when you consider not only the relationship to the well-known and beloved attractions of downtown, as we consider our location right at the doorstep of the Gulch, as well as Midtown and Capitol View, one of the things that really excites me most about Grand Hyatt as being that first pillar of Nashville Yards and everything that will be to follow in Nashville Yards is that we are recreating and redefining how the neighborhoods, which everyone knows and loves in Nashville, are reharmonizing with one another. And I would argue that you have the best of all worlds by staying at Grand Hyatt Nashville, because you can walk to the Gulch, you can walk to Capitol View, you can walk to all the attractions in downtown, and we're right in the center of it all.
So are there any future plans? I mean, you're just starting.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. We have a 1.3 acre park that will be part of the Nashville Yards experience, and the park anchors right at the doorstep of the Grand Hyatt. And again, when you bring forward the idea of a green space right in the heart of downtown, that in and of itself is compelling, but that's kind of like the backyard for all of our guests in the Grand Hyatt Nashville.
That's great.
Yeah.
So we go out to about 100,000 travel advisors every day. And how should they work with you guys?
Well, I think one, we're really delighted to bring forward all the partnerships and the special brand advantages of being part of the Hyatt family. So whether that's World of Hyatt, all the travel advisors, the Privé program, which is unique to Hyatt, of course. We have a business travel sales executive on our team. So all of our travel agents have the ability to reach out to Jenny Witham on our team, have a curated and thoughtful experience developed to the individual needs of each individual traveler.
How can they reach Jenny?
Jenny can be reached direct at the hotel at 615-622-1234 or at jenny.witham, that's WITHAM, at Hyatt.com.
That's great. How should a travel advisor sell this hotel? Let's give them the pitch they should be using.
Yeah, thank you. One, this is the first Grand Hyatt to open new this side of the Mississippi. And it's one of only 14 domestic Grand Hyatts in the United States. And so if you're looking for something that's unique, that's different in a city that is vibrant, alive, and beloved, it's really a wonderful marriage in that regard. It's poignant because Grand Hyatt as a brand allows us to bring forward the destination in a way that really has no limits and boundaries. So when we talk about design and we talk about service, the very best elements of the Nashville experience are coming forward uniquely in our Grand Hyatt Nashville. The sense of location, of course, walkable to all the beloved attractions, as we covered earlier, completely unique. And the fact that we're new, of course, people are always looking for that new undiscovered gem, and having opened just a month ago, if you want something that you can't find anywhere else, that's completely unique, that gives you a completely different perspective of a Hyatt brand experience, there can be no better place really than Grand Hyatt Nashville.
Richard, thank you so much for giving us the tour and for telling us all about this. And hopefully we will get travel advisors to start booking clients there.
We thank you very much. We're here, eager to help, and we look forward to welcoming all of you to Music City very soon.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.